Okay, friends, I am here. Hello, hello. Give me a minute. Let me get myself together. Am I here? Yes, you're here. Okay. Hi, everybody. Oh, welcome. Still getting myself. Make sure microphone's on. Still getting myself together. How are you all? How is everyone? Hold on a minute. I'm still doing the things. It has been a busy week for me, actually. Work related and just, mostly work related. I have not really made any and homework. I have not really, I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I have not made any real any progress at all with the comic, but that is why we are here tonight. So we can actually do that. I know I don't usually go live on Saturdays, but I've been wanting to for a little bit now. And I finally had time, sort of. I'm gonna be very, very real right now. I am very upset at myself. I spent all day doing my hair, getting into these twists. And when I say all day, I mean literally all day. Much longer than I was really expecting it to, or expecting myself to. So, here we are. 6 hours. I could have gotten so much done in that 6 hours. That's 6 hours of just general productivity that just went right to my hair. So. And, I did want to stream tonight. That was definitely on my list of to do. But the thing is, I wanted to do that hours ago. Not at 7 tonight. I was hoping to take advantage of, daylight again. To have the blinds open and to, use some real daylight to get some drawing done. And that just did not happen. So, this is where we are. And I do see I do have some new followers here. Matty Hoedown, thank you for following. Cleopatra Jones, yay! Thank you for coming through. MK Raz, thank you. You're a member of the Waffle Squad, as well as Matty Hoedown, as well as Shellbanator, so thank you all for coming over. And Ratality, I think you probably came through from Cleopatra's stream, so thank you. I do want to thank you all for coming by and hanging out with me, or at least just following, so you're probably seeing when I'm online. I appreciate you wanting to see that. So today, we are going to be... I'm going to get through as much of these pages as possible. And I'm going to be going back to my watercolor inks only because the amount of layering that I have to do with the gouache is really just not going to work with what needs to happen now. So we are just going to go right into watercolors. I can use the white another time just to get in those highlights that I need to, but I need to get a darker brown. I need different colors than what I actually have access to, than what I really feel like mixing right now with my gouache. So let's take a look at what I have ahead of me tonight. Captions are available, as always, for my stream, so if that's something that is important to you, they are available. So, where are we? 5, 4, 3, 2. So I have this cover here, which I'm going to have to do a different day. It's not going to be today. I mean, honestly, these pages kind of look alright as they are, so we probably actually don't have a whole lot to do. I know for a fact I'm going to add more texture in here. I need to get these guys darker, like there needs to be more black in their cloaks. Here as well, it's like very, very washed out blue, and I need something else going on there. Like they're supposed to be wearing black, and it's very, very blue. It's not really what I'm going for. So I know what I need. Let's get the black. I labeled all of my colors. There you are. I don't need this one. Let's use that one. Maybe? Yes, we'll use this one. I'm trying to see what palettes I have at my disposal here. One more moment. I need brown. Here you are. That 2 right there. Wash away. So I don't actually need these. We're about to have an accident. Accident avoided, I guess. Stuff on the floor. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't color this. Yeah, there's just a lot of things that like need color to them that just is not there. So we're going to work on that tonight. Okay, so can't do anything without this. We will start with this page here. We've got brushes, we've got paints. So let's talk about today. Today. I woke up very early and, you know, I realized it's only Saturday. Literally, it's Saturday. It's the first real day of my weekend. Things are good. You know, I got some homework done for my accounting class. Homework that I'm a little frustrated about. And I emailed my teacher about it. But I did actually get some things done today. And then I said, well, you know what? I just want to hang out for a while. I'll watch some other streamers do their thing. I really hope you can hear me. I didn't lose connection on anything. Okay, I think you can hear me. You can, can't you? Mic is okay, we can... Oh, perfect, thank you. Appreciate it, Atlas, thank you so much. Anyway, so... You know, I got a few things done today. Instead, I'm going to watch some streams and just kind of hang out and whatever. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I really want to take a shower, so let me go take a shower. This would be a really good opportunity to wash my hair, and then I can actually do something with it, so that's what I did. And then, you know, do something with it, turn it into a 6-hour ordeal. Not my finest hours. I mean, no, it really wasn't. Like, the only thing I managed to get done in 6 hours after that was... put my hair in twist. It's not exactly the amount of stuff done that I would have liked to have gotten done. So, and like I said, I wanted to go live a whole lot earlier than today. We're going to start with our... No, I don't want to start with black. I'm going to start with brown. So, kind of feeling a little upset. A little upset. It's like... getting hair done does take a while. We're going to go right in here. I just wasn't expecting to take as long as it did. Because normally when I twist my hair out, I usually got it done in like 2 to 3 hours tops. No, this was an adventure. This was the afternoon. Alright, so... Not the way I would have wanted to have spent today. But I'm here. Like, honestly, I'm really just mad at myself for how today went. On the flip side, I had chili for lunch. Chili for lunch is a good thing. Sometimes self-care becomes an ordeal. I mean, I guess? I guess. I didn't want it to be. Alright, so we're gonna go in. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. Some brown. So what we're going to be doing is just painting in some texture. Brown is not dark enough. There we go. We're just painting in some brush strokes here. It'll be pretty transparent, I think. But, you know, I'm going to very happily say we're pretty much, not necessarily at the finish line, but we're approaching it. We're approaching it. This book is quickly getting finished. What in the world am I saying? Oh my word. Fast approaching completion. That's probably where I was going with that. And this is basically all I really have to do. Except for those pages that I showed you towards the end, where, you know, some elements are just missing color outright. And I will say on the plus side, my hair is in a state right now where it can live for the next month. So I don't have to do anything else to it, like, at all. Like, maybe just a quick refresh in the morning with some water, some refresh spray, and then that's just that. So, you know, 6 hours for something that's going to last, you know, the next 30-ish days, 28 to 30 days. I mean, I guess I'm just going to have to take that trade-off. So, and, you know, obviously learn to just kind of deal with it. It's my hair, so, and I'm growing it for a reason, so I'm just going to have to get used to it. Worth the effort, then yes, it absolutely, well, I don't want to say it absolutely was, because I'm still upset at how long that took, but yes, you know, I put my hair in this style specifically because I needed it to just be put away so I don't have to worry about it for the next several weeks. So that was the intention behind it. And I can always undo it when I need to. Void of Echo, hi, how are you? Hello, my friend. Hello, my dear. How are you? I'm getting better today. You know, if you heard me lamenting, and it's probably gonna wear on everybody, but it's me. Lamenting how long it took me to do my hair today, but I'm doing very well otherwise. I'm actually starting to calm down a little bit. I was actually fighting myself. I'm like, do I really want to stream considering the state I'm in right now with how I'm feeling? And I said, just do it. Just because I wanted to today. I actually did want to turn on the camera and get online today, so I'm here. I am here. How are you doing? How are you? Isn't it hella late for you right now? It's like 7:30 here. Isn't it like after midnight? What are you doing still up? Thank you. My hair looks amazing. Thank you. I hope it can stay that way. Not that I'm complaining that you're here. I appreciate you coming by. I love it when friends stop through. Come hang out with me. I'm not going to be able to talk right for a while, so, Aw. Thank you, Kent MC, for the follow. Welcome. Appreciate you stopping by, hanging out, and wanted to follow and see when I'm live again. So, just so that everybody knows, everyone who's here right now, this is what I do on stream. I make art. I am a fantasy artist and currently working on a remake and reissue of my first fantasy comic that I had published a few years ago. I decided I just wanted to recreate the entire series. So we are actually at the, I guess, post color phase, just kind of getting some more brushstrokes and coloring in here. So that's what I do on stream. The few times that I play games, it's not a thing for me, but like making art is definitely a thing for me. So that is what you will always see me doing here. Yeah, it's getting close to 1 a.m., but I wanted to say hello, people. Oh, thank you so much, Void of Echo. I appreciate you coming by. I love it. Thank you. I'm so glad that you did. So I don't want to... There's really not a whole lot that I can do. We're getting some of these brushstrokes in here. You know what is missing? Blue. Actually, you know what? No. What we'll do is I will actually... Hold on a minute. Give me a minute. Which way? No, I don't want that. Yep, here it is. I know for a fact I'm going to... Atlas Chug, thank you for being a friend. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. I absolutely will go ahead. I know I'm going to... And I think I did say that I was going to do this a while ago, was put another layer of this indigo, which was my background, on top of some of these other elements here too. So just to kind of keep that mood going, and then I was going to, touch up a few things to get the white in there. So I need that. And I need my yellow. So I know what colors actually do need to be brought up a little more, but I definitely want to get that brown texture in there just so we can have something to play with. Alright, next, black. Oh, I'm so happy you guys came by. I appreciate it. You guys are making me feel really, really nice. Thank you. This is a very good decision for me to go live today. In other news, last night the boyfriend made chili. A big pot of it. it is amazing, and we'll be living off of that for the next several days, I think. So I'm in a very good mood for that. I actually had some for lunch too, so I'm actually feeling pretty good about food. So I don't need to break or anything. I've had my lunch. I'll be going for a little bit before I really need to say, oh, I think I need more. So chili is incredible. And I'm of the mindset, and like me not even being like a gourmet chef or anything, chili is a very, very easy dish to make. We did ours with, oh yeah, this is good. Just some ground pork and canned beans and canned tomatoes. Literally, most of it's already cooked. Like the you just have to brown the meat. Like if you're a meat person, cook the meat and then add in the beans and the tomatoes, and then you're basically just letting it all cook together. Add your spices and everything, you know. But it was good. So I'm very, very, very happy with that meal from yesterday. That was made into a giant pot that we just have plenty of now. I live for those, I wonder, does it make more sense to just do that? I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I'm very happy. I love those giant one pot meals that are so easy to just kind of make. Yeah, we want this whole thing just... Simply because, you know, growing up, I lived off of leftovers, so that was kind of a big deal. I'm not terribly worried about too much with the definition of these characters here. I mean, I am, but it's okay. It sounds so good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Doesn't take really much effort at all, and that's probably the best part about it. So like you can get, you know, canned chili beans, and canned tomatoes with your spices, and I think we used canned tomatoes that had jalapenos in it too. So it was all, like everything's already there. You just pour it all together into a pot, add your own favorite spices and your chili powder, and then like your other favorite types of things. He forgot to add the what was it he forgot to put into it? Garlic and onions, but like honestly, it was still very good. And like I said, it's a big pot of it, so we'll be living off of that for a couple of days. So I'm not mad. Dinner is taken care of for the next few days. We're in a good place. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll definitely go in and do something like that. Is that. I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to bring this over. And I actually want this bigger brush here for what I need to do. So this brown is much more really a mid-tone. So let's get that into these mid-tones here. These mid areas. I don't know why I'm being so extra about this. It's probably not even entirely necessary. Like, I look at this and I'm like, I can probably actually really just go in, do this that I need to do to get the black of their cloaks to show up a little more. And then literally be done. It's so weird. Boyfriend sounds like he'd be a good chef. He's really not. And it's not because he doesn't know how. It's not because he doesn't know how to cook. He does, but it's just like we make very, very simple meals. And I think we were both just struggling last night. So, but we both tend to keep to very simple meals and just like how can we easy mode this thing that we want to do. Like, we'll get a recipe or we'll get an idea in our heads of something that we like, and we're like, okay, how can we do that? Like, when we go grocery shopping, we'll go for things that are microwavable, like those Marie Calendar or Encore family size dinner things. That's usually what we go for. But, you know, lately we're like, let's just try cooking for ourselves for a change. And we try, and we still, you know, the idea is like, we still want to easy mode it. So, you know, I'm not mad about it. I love it. Easy mode is like best. The only time I like really go all in on cooking is if there's very, very specifically something that I want to make. Like, I think the last time there was something I really, really wanted to make, I had made collard greens, and I think it was for a family dinner with his family, so... And that was, like, the first time I'd made collard greens in a while. Yeah, I think I just want to... I think this is just really all I want to do. It looks really good. Like, I've made this a little more brown now, but, like, given the temperature of everything... Okay, I see where this is going. Let's see what's happening here. Put that over there. Come back over here. Let's just go in on... black. But, like, you know, we try to... keep it simple. Like, there's things that we like, and that's just what we do. Yeah, I think I just want to... It's so funny because, like, this is the process of, like, stepping back from my work and really looking at everything that I've accomplished with it. It takes me a moment to realize, like, oh, this is actually really almost done, so what am I doing? I don't really have to go all in on this. I have to be up early tomorrow, so I'm going to sleep now, but have a wonderful stream, lovely. Thank you, Void, for stopping in. Hope to see you again. I'll definitely be hanging out in your channel, so... Thank you for coming by. Have a wonderful evening. Get you all the sleep in the world. That's what I'm going to do when I'm done this too. So make this very easy. By putting in kind of where everything is right now. there needs to be a halo of yellow over this town here. Just, you know, for the ambiance and the lighting. Just over a few little things here and there. So yeah, I don't even need the brown per se. I think I want to add some here into the background though. So maybe not for the trees, but like we do something like this. I think this works. Adding a whole different color in there. It's so weird how like I kept the colors like super simple and they really work. Like in the moment when I was painting this, I'm like, oh, this looks like crap. And I'm gonna have to go over this like 14 billion times. No, it actually looks really good. So I'm gonna keep it that way. Shelby, hi! Welcome. How are ya? Thank you always for coming through. This was a surprise stream for me too. I don't want to forget our little guy down here. Where else are they? I gotta get shadow in there at some point, but this looks really good. I'll get just a hint. I think what I need to do though is show texture with my blue in here rather than with the brown. I think that's what's really going to do that. We're going to move that over there. How are you? I'm doing well. This looks so lovely. I know, it's come together. Like, I haven't done anything with these pages all week. And so this is truly the first time that I've sat down to do anything. And I'm like, oh, I don't really have a whole lot to do. It's practically finished at this point. So we're just going to go in and touch up their cloaks and some of the things that they're wearing, a few things here and there. We can actually probably go ahead and get those highlights in that I wanted. So, you know, whiten up the snow a little bit. Add in my yellows. So that's why I've got my going over, just glazing over with some watercolor ink right now. And then we're going to go in with like I said, my white gouache to get the whites of the snow, and then the yellow to get the color of the torches, and then should be done. Should be done. We'll see if I see any. I know there's a couple of other pages that aren't even finished with their coloring, like characters are just kind of missing some things, but we should be actually really good to just move on. Get these bad boys scanned, and then next week we'll be adding the text, speech bubbles, and all that other good stuff. So that's really what I'm trying to aim for, is just to get to everything at the level of digital work. I wanted to also expand my original dialogue that I had. Let's drop down globs of black here. and use that as my original dialogue as a basis of all the things that, you know, need to be here in these pages, so that obviously we have that connection to the original, but I want to expand it and say a little more with each page. But honestly, the color temperature looks really decent. Splotchiness of the paint I'm not really too worried about, because like I paint in such a way that everything remains pretty loose. It's always the ideal look for my work. Like the globs of paint are put on in a way that they actually do kind of work with where and how they're applied. I'm not going to say that I don't make any mistakes, but the mistakes that I do make, I tend to twist and make them into my own favor. So try to work with them, the wrong things that I've done. When I go in to put my highlights in here, you'll see some other color temperature things going on here too, so. Okay, that's about all that's going to happen here. I'm going to have to reflatten these pages because now that they're wet again, they're starting to bend and buckle. Okay, I'm going to get into these folks. Oops, no. Never, never, never leave your brushes in water. Ever, ever. Let's never do that. Okay. I need to, because I did actually kind of, oops, that's brown. Was that? No, that was black. Oops. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Now we can get in over to these folks. Now see, this is where I think I will need some blue because they're wearing a very light brown. I still need to get in and add their shadows and other things. So this will be some very colorful characters on this page. I need a bigger brush. I gotta go with my big brush again. Shelby, how was your day? How was everybody's day? And what did you do today? Tell me. I have to know what other people did today, how productive other people were. Not so that I can feel bad for myself, but just, I just want to know like what other people accomplished. I don't think anyone's as I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a workaholic, but I think I'm just so accustomed to always moving and always doing things that to not be is always kind of alarming. It makes me feel weird when I just accomplish literally nothing. Like, I'll have days, it doesn't happen too often, but for a good reason, where I will do nothing but play video games all day, and by the end of that day, as much as I know that I needed a day off, I feel like crap afterwards. I hate it. So I've decided that, I have to do something. Whether it's homework, or maybe I get up and go take a run somewhere, or drive somewhere to go get groceries, or, things we need around the house, little things like that. Or maybe I have to take a drive. Like, I'm going to be, for the rest of the year, starting in November, I will be working at a different store for 2 days a week. One of the things that I wanted to do this weekend was to actually get accustomed to the route to get to this other store. I decided I'm going to do that tomorrow just because the one manager is going to be that I actually want to talk to. But, I was thinking, maybe I'll do that today. Maybe I'll just drive down there. I don't actually have to go in and talk to him. I just have to get accustomed to the route. That's going to be tomorrow. Instead. And not just because of the things that happened today, but like I said, because the one manager is there that I actually wanted to talk to. It'll just be easier for me to actually be there tomorrow. It's so funny how these characters that I'm painting right now almost started off looking almost like Santa Claus. With red coats, with white trim. We're going to give them black gloves. I went with brown instead. We're going to give them black boots and black gloves. Again, just keeping things simple. I think that works. So yeah, tell me what y'all did today. I definitely want to know. Okay, here's a complicated page. So everything is already in this very dark black and looks pretty flat. So I think what I want to do for this page is actually give everybody here just some touches of brown in what they're wearing. Like their cloaks will still be black. And maybe when I take my white into some of these places, I can get some pure white on, you know, just some of the little things that they're wearing, just to add some different touches. I definitely want to add some white detailing, but I definitely want to get that in at least. Like right up in here, we'll do this. There we go. Do that. And because we're just glazing on some brown over black, it still retains like that dark quality. So you're very happy with that. Oh boy, excuse me. That's what we want to hear. Live on stream yawns for free. It's more black. And because this is just a, you know, glazed layer, you can add watercolor pretty thick. You in there. Okay, do that. Do this. Just so we have that. Okay. There. On to the next page. We're just going to go through all the pages just like this. Yeah. You can see my hair all up in the shot. Oh my goodness. That's what I've always dreamed of. glad that I left this pretty plain so I can actually get in here with my brown. Which will probably end up being black anyway, so we'll get a layer of black. I just needed to be dark. So everybody back here gets to be brown blobs. Love it. Some of the things that I do when I'm drawing are just, for me, a way of locking in a figure into a scene. Like giving them and establishing some kind of presence without going into heavy detail. And so that's why these people in the background are just blobs of brown in the scene. They don't need to be highly detailed. We just need to get in their majority color. Oh, poor guy here needs a shadow. It's not gonna work. He doesn't have a shadow. He just looks like he's floating. He literally looks like a scribble of some kind that's just kind of here. There we go. Now he has presence. I put a shadow in front of him because this guy's magic has light to it, so we kind of want to keep that going in that direction. There needs to be some green or something, or I can probably just do it with my white, like highlight the bushes that are here. Alright, we're gonna put that there. Next, action scenes. Well, I guess I'm starting with black. My hair again. Sorry about that. I'll try to lean back a little more. In there. There's a lot of pigment down from the gouache. The watercolor will help to tone it in the right direction. And the watercolor just basically becomes its own wash onto the already established colors that we have happening here. Oh, my poor trees. I'm gonna have to get some blue in there. I mean, honestly, I think they all look just fine. This is how I know I don't really have to do too much. What's happening? Do I want to? Yeah, let's go ahead and get some of this on here. So we'll follow it up with some blue in a moment. So we actually really will get to finish this book tonight. Well, the colors anyway. Not the whole book, but the colors. Get done tonight. Colors and highlights. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's so funny because I mentioned, mistakes being made early on, and honestly, I think the one thing that I did make that was a mistake was actually using gouache for this. I feel like I probably should have just gone right ahead with my watercolor in the first place. But you know what? It's a learning experience. I'm all about having those. So I end up having to use gouache anyway later, so it'll be fine. Color temperature for this book is going to be very cool colors. So I'm going to have to put some blue down over everything. Get my whites in as highlights, of course. Oh, excuse me. Down in here, I always end up with too much paint on the brush. And like, the most important thing is the mood of the scene. So, I could do jack all with the colors. I can literally leave everything like this, and so long as the mood of the piece is what carries through, I'll consider that a win, personally. But I always try to take it up to like that next level with my work. Like, how far can I push my colors, my designs? Like, where else can I go? boots. And I like the simple color looks. It's more pleasing to my eye to keep my colors simple. This is another reason why I don't tend to do too much. I'll twist it over there. Keep the scene simple. I'm still here, been lurking with the homework. Oh, hey, no worries. A weakness for black boots. 3 pairs that are barely different from one another. You know, I've been there. Definitely done that. And I like it simple, too. I've definitely done that. Have you been homework all day, Shelby? Because I certainly have been, sort of. Or rather, I would have been. Would have been, let me say it that way. That'll be this page here. Oh, hold on a minute. Almost this page. Bloop. Do we have the matching black gloves, though, Shelby? That's the question. Took my daughter to her Nerf gun birthday party with a close family friend, and she had a blast, and the adults ended up doing Nerf pedals, too. And then we took an hour hike. That sounds fun. That sounds like a very good time. So I'm going to catch up on the homework. Yeah, I feel that. Put you over there. Okay, this guy. Get him to try to stand out from everything else going on here. He is in the foreground, which is why he's bigger. Even though he's, tiny. Diminutive. I'm actually also, everyone, just so y'all know, I'm in the process of collecting just some information from people that I do want to send copies to when I actually do get this book printed. It should be going to the printer by the first week of November. So around that time is when I'll have a final price point for the book. So if you are interested in purchasing it, it will pretty much be only available in the Illustrator of Fantasies online store. When I first published this series, I did pre-orders just to kind of get an initial run going. I don't think I want to do that. I think I'd rather just wait for people to, express an interest and just visit the online store. So I'll link that once it's available for purchasing. But you all have, kind of watched me kind of make this thing and put it together, so that I do have just a list of people that I want to get some copies into their hands. I'm excited. Super excited about getting this book done. Definitely want to purchase. I would love it if you did. I really would. I can tell you right now, the price point should be around $5 per issue. That's just how indie books are, unfortunately. Like, I would love to make it less than that, but I think $5 is pretty reasonable as well. But yeah, it'll be around the $5 mark. So, unless something dramatic happens and I have to increase or decrease prices, you never know. Put you over there. Super reasonable. I think so. I think so. Like I said, especially for an indie book, I think that's kind of an important thing. Oh, thanks for the cheer and the bits. I appreciate it, Shelby. You are always coming through for me, and you know what? That's awesome. Like, that's amazing. Thank you so much for the kindness and the care and the cheers. You're always here for that, Shelby, and I'm super thankful that you're always here too. Get all that in there. Shelby's cheer shared rewards at 10 others in chat. Thank you, Shelby. We should all thank Shelby for that. We're gonna go ahead and at least get some guys coloring in. I'm so glad I stumbled into your stream one night. You're fantastic. You've been always my favorite stream. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you came by too. Like, it's been great, getting to know you and, getting to share Waffle Squad and get to, for everyone to get to know each other. It's been really, really I don't want to say it's been a great year, but it's been a great year for, just the amount of social connections that have been built this year. Yeah, it's because of the pandemic, so maybe we shouldn't cheer too loudly, but I think, we've all met people we probably would not have had it not been for what's happened this year. And for that, I'm actually really, really thankful that this year has happened and that I've gotten to know everyone that I've met. It's just been really, really, aside from the obvious, great. So, I'm not gonna be too mad about, 2020 right now. I can only take that but so far. It's been rough, absolutely. And I'm not discrediting or discounting anyone else's experience of, everything that's been happening this year, but I'm super thankful for all the connections and the friendships that I've made, including you, Shelby. including Geek, including Shmi, including every one of the Waffle Squad, including all the other streamers that I've actually gotten, familiar with and acquainted with. Like, I think that's exactly what we probably all needed, was just something to push us, to connect us with others in a significant way. So, like, obviously, yeah, wish it had happened in any better circumstances, but I'm glad it happened at all. Let me put it that way. Like, the amazing people I've met, it's been so wonderful. All the love and friendships I've found, I totally feel like seriously, it's been a year, absolutely, the ups and the downs. Yeah, so slowed my life, and I found Dub, Geek, and Hugh, and it's been fantastic. Yeah, it's been a really great year. Pretty good year. And, like, even, me personally, career-wise, has been just a really great, time for me to lock down on all the things that I want to accomplish. I've got some forward movement happening. This person needs a color for their hair. Let's go with the black that's on this brush. How's Dub, by the way? I haven't seen him online tonight. Does he usually stream, like, on Saturdays, or is, like... I wish I knew his schedule, honestly. Add a little brown in there just to give it a little bit of a highlight of something. I'm gonna do this thing. Okay. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is norms between 7:30 and 8:30 start times. Okay. I was wondering. Like, I feel like I remember seeing him on a Saturday at some point. I'll have to stop in at some point. So yeah, this is pretty good. We're gonna, I've got some things going here. I like it. I dig it. You over there. Next. This is where we start to get into, oh yeah, here's the parts I forgot to paint. So let's go in with our black. Back to just our friends here. But yeah, this, like, I've made so many, like, really great friendships this year. All from the comfort of my own home. So I dig it. – I was excited when you pop in. I'm always happy to. Like, I love hanging out over there with him. Let's just do that. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so got all that going. More depth in here. Okay. Do this. Yeah, just get all of that. All up in there. I think that's probably all that's going to really be able to happen on this page, honestly. I want to go into some highlights with the sword here, probably add a different color on that little gem. I've got paint all over my fingers. Okay. It's been roughly an hour and a half since I started, and we're actually almost done with this second layer of color, of paint, the second layer of paint. So, kind of making good time, I think. I have to think about how I want to do the next highlights, because they will also need to go in on here tonight. Like, I wanted to do something very, very different for October this year, and I ended up making a comic book, so... that. So we are doing second layers of color tonight. Yes. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. It's just like deepening some elements that need it. Some people still actually need some color to them. Like you saw me had to dollop in his arm entirely at all. So that needed to happen. We need some texture going, and then we need highlights. So highlights will also happen tonight if I'm lucky, which I hope that I am. I do intend to be live for at least a couple more hours. So like here, there's like so much that hasn't been completed yet. So first of all, we're going to do very basic brown skin. This is ear. I've been wrestling with the idea of this guy having white hair. I don't know if I want to necessarily do that. It follows with his descendants who also have white hair, of which there are very few. But I don't know if I want him to be the person who has that trait. The hesitation is the fact that the white hair originally didn't come from a mortal. It came from the moon goddess herself. And I think I'm going to kind of maintain that. But, like, I still want some kind of hint, I think, of his connection to her. So, well, moon goddess. She's not the moon goddess. She is, but she isn't. The grand ancestor, put it that way. Patron goddess of their people. She has white hair. That's her trait. Considering like silvery or white streaks or something, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I think, maybe a streak or something. I don't know. Gonna go in here. Otherwise, it'd be black. So, this is the last page that needs a second layer of color. And what is going on? Schlong with farts. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for being a friend. I appreciate your follow. Welcome. 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 To go in. I have to think about it. Cool art. Thank you. Thank you. Working on a comic book tonight, so I've got a few more pages of cool art to go through. Okay, so we've gotten all that second layer of stuff down. I think what I want to do... I think I do want to get that layer of white in on everything. I got an alert going. Okay, sure. So I have... to get... No, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to do. It's time to go in with this indigo again. We gotta get this texture down. Okay, so let me find an appropriate size brush to do what needs to be done here. So what I'm going to be doing now is going into my tree trunks here and actually adding in that texture that I need. Ooh, that is way too dark. Just do something like that. Make sure we get our shadows up in here, and I suddenly need my big brush again. I don't want to rely on this big brush so much, but it's just so dang helpful. So we can kind of get in these undersides of our undersides of the tree bristles here. Just do something like that. And we're going to go back and highlight that with some white. So this is where super simple coloring gets a little extra complicated, or at least a little extra complex. So we can show just some simple shadows here and there. Let's pull this down a little bit. Maybe we want a different brush entirely, since for what we're doing. So that's good. That's good stuff. So get in over there. And over there. And then back here. Okay, that actually looks really good. Looks really good. Okay, ooh, almost forgetting a tree back there. Don't want to forget this little guy down here. Okay. Okay. That's gonna go over there. We're gonna work our way backwards now. So that was image, not page. Image number 15. That's actually page like 30 something. Just work our way back. This here just to establish some shadows. I have been living in this indigo. It's been kind of amazing. That. want some texture on this guy right here. This is much more like a shield, which I think was my intention here. That's what we want. Do that just to add in a layer. There we go. All right. We'll just kind of go back and forth. So all I'm doing right now is adding in a touch of blue in textures and shadows. Especially on these trees. That. We're going to go back to our big brush so we can do things like this. Get that texture back there. We're going to drop in some shadows here, and here. This here. Some shadows back here. Shadows. Shadows. go. Bring the shadows a little further back. Coming up for air once in a while. That's not what I wanted. Okay. And we'll just do some of this. Got to turn rather down this very dusty looking brown on these tree trunks. Make them a little more blue. And then we'll go in and add in some much more darker blue to bring out its texture. And it's only because I did this kind of the whole wrong way. Definitely not how I normally do it, but I was also using a medium that I'm not entirely experienced with. But that's alright, because I'm a fast learner. And there we go. How does that look? Here we go. Kind of making a muddy mess back here with that tree, but I guess that's where we are. Okay. I'm trying to think of what the next level highlight is. That honestly, I think both the yellow and the white probably just need to be added at the same time. I think they'll... Actually, no, it should be the white. Because I think in areas the yellow will actually interact and go on top of that white just as a... kind of like a reflected light kind of thing. So we'll add the white next. Yeah, the yellow will go on top of the white just to be a touch of something different. And I'm using this indigo instead of my... I keep doing that, leaving my brush in the water. Oh my goodness. Instead of my watercolor blue or indigo. Only because it's more dense. Spitting all over myself. So we want to get the shadows first of all built up. here. Want shadows. And that's really the purpose of the blue right now. Yeah, I'm cool with that. And you know what? We will go in on the sword. Sorry, my head's in the way. And just do that just to give it something going on. Ooh, we're approaching the 2-hour mark. I'm going to take a quick break before we actually get to that 2-hour mark. So stick with me for a little while longer. I will be back, I promise. Just a quick break. Okay, I'm back. Right. I've got this paranoia that anytime I come back from a break or go live, that my microphone will be off or something. So I always turn that on first. And even now I'm just double checking, just because this is what I do. Alright. Back in here. We're gonna get something going on with these trees here. We can actually do for the trees in the background, we can actually make them really just like that. Here we go. That's a much better looking sword with texture and shape. Okay. This actually looks really good. Do a thing. Before I move on to the next page. Okay, here we go. Now, next page. I think in the final book, those figures will look kind of dark, so... But it's just because of the layers of blue that I put on them. Alright. We are now in hour number 2. There's still a whole lot left to do. Not intending for that to rhyme. It's just stating a fact. Let's get in down here. Do all that fun stuff with color. You know, wrinkles and shadow textures and the like. So, I think, yeah, that's probably all I really want to do. It's just a layer of blue. There we go. Ooh, I think I just... Okay, no, we're good. Also trying to be conservative with the paint that I do have down. That. This guy we can totally go in just like that, maybe. Okay. When we come back for our white, we'll do something here with the what's happening with the texture on our little elemental. Saint Warhead, oh my goodness, thank you for the cheer. Hi, how are you? Welcome to one of my streams. How's the art going? The art is going really, really well. We are now just adding... I'm now just adding some blue tone and texture onto my background, trees, trying to get them to stand a little more, look a little more tree-like, but also to have that texture that I need. But should be actually just about done the colors in maybe another hour or two. Sorry, I just had a thought. You saw my face just do a thing. I had a thought completely unrelated to what's happening here. That's probably too... Actually, no, that's... Yeah, that's definitely too much. Looks great. Thank you. How have you been? Like, how's life? How's everything? Here, we do all of that. We'll do that. There we go. I think that's fine. Hey, yeah, we want to add in some some highlights for this, for our elemental friend here. Now we'll just do that. A lot of my brush strokes in here are, you know, kind of adding that visual texture that I had wanted to add with this blue. But I think they get touched up just a little more with that blue, like digging in and like helping it to pop out a little more. So we'll just do that. Oh, that looks so good. That. There we go. Yes. Yes. Okay, perfect. Need to get in on you over here, little bush bird. Do you have an official name for the creatures here? No. I don't. They are just creatures of the Fae. It's kind of where I went with them. There's some spirits in here, and a spider, and an elemental. No collective name other than just Fae. I think that's going to be it for this page. What we got here? Oh, yeah, this page definitely needs something. Do Mohan Koi draw sexy zombies? Maybe for a different project. How are you, Mohan? Yeah, probably for a very different project. You know, just sprinkle them in hidden. Nah, I think that'll be a very different project. It's a good thought, though. For the real fans. Oh, man. Maybe the fans of zombies, I don't know. Down a little bit so we can see what's really going on. Sorry, Shelby, I didn't see what you said. Just love them and I don't know what to call them. Oh, okay. I mean, honestly, I don't really know what to call them either, so we'll just call them Fae. I think that'll be alright. Back there. What's going on here? We're gonna go in on this a little more. We're actually trying to blue down everything to help reestablish the overall mood of the scene. Kind of working backwards too, so that over there. Oops. That there for that tree. Put that tree there. That one there. That there. There. Do this. Dropping that in. Doing some of this. I'm gonna get in here. Okay, I like that. Let's do that. That's right, I got these guys up here. I almost forgot about them. Which they don't really factor into too much, so I don't know. Figure out what I can do with them. Let's continue getting in with this blue. Something face down over there. We've got so much going on in this page, or this image rather. I keep trying to break it down as though these are pages, and they are, but like they're 2 pages, so they're not just 1 page. Okay, got all that in. I think this image is looking pretty good. Need to do that. Here we go. Okay, that page looks really good. I like it. Okay, next page. Oh yeah, here's a little more of this wildness going on. All these flat colors, that's pretty much what I'm going in and just kind of livening them up a little more. Doing a different brush for this page. I'm going to take a large flat brush and just kind of go in just like this. Get that in here. Man, look, I need to start doing this in the daytime. I miss streaming in the daylight. Having that natural light coming in through the window was always super nice. So I'm going to try to do that on the weekends. More of a daytime stream. I don't know why, that was just a thought that just came to me. Get our texture here. We can follow the lines I've already got. That's good. Okay, so we got all that. Now we want to get in over here. Some shadows going down in this direction. Shadows and wrinkles, of course. Make sure our action scene looks like it's got some action happening. Get up in there. Like I said, working our way back. does that look? That actually looks pretty decent. I use my monitor to help me like see a different way of what my pieces look like. Natural light it really is. I miss it when I'm painting. Even if it's like cold, bright winter light, that's kind of what I've gotten my light bulbs in this room. And that actually works really well for me sometimes. That cool light. Okay. Looks good. Thing has some texture to it. Get in here. Getting into some trouble spots here for these images. I keep dipping in the black. And it's just because of like how I had painted these scenes originally. Like here and here. Like this, you can barely discern the depth between these two figures here. And it's only because one is much bigger than the other that you can really see it. And like the colors for some of my figures, I'm like, it wasn't all that strong looking. Kind of weak. But, you get to play for at least a little bit and have some fun with everything going on here. Let's add some shadows in for these folks down here. What else we got? Little bushies. Okay. That'll have to do. And, like, right in here, like, what in the world was I doing? So we're just gonna float in some color. Do. Okay. That'll just have to be that page. I will need a little more indigo here, but I am approaching page 1 again, so we're gonna go back through and add our white in a minute. And then we'll go back through and add yellow. Oh, this is shaping up to be a longer stream than I was expecting. But you know what? We're cool. I've got the time. It's one of the reasons. It's another one of those reasons why I'm like, I wish I would have started this earlier. Quickly approaching someone's bedtime. Okay. So now we get to add in too much blue. that, just like that. Lord. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. That's a little better. So much paint. Here we go. The idea is that this is a torch and showing light in this area. So when it shines on this person here, we'll get just a bit of an arc of yellow light on them, and then it'll just be their own natural color there, because we have such a dark blue as a shadow, so we've already got our contrast built in. Be pretty careful because we have in this figure here, this light still kind of shines on them, but this person behind them also has a torch. So we know there's probably, wow, a lot of water on this brush. Gonna be just something just like that, and like a bit of a strip. Shadow on them, at least just a bit of it. And for sure, under them. There, that. Okay. All right. So that's that. I'm gonna get in there, because we have to make sure now that the light makes it to the trees as well. Sorry, my head, again, all up under the camera. That's what we want. There we go. Shadow going that way. And everybody else casting a shadow. Where's your shadow? Guys, casting a shadow in that direction. This is one of those things that I had to kind of learn the hard way, is to remember to have a shadow. Because otherwise they're just kind of floating there. It's like all the colors and everything look good, but, you know, there's no shadow. Where's the shadow? You get better over time. Okay. That looks good. This looks good. There's a whole person over there that I just forgot about. A couple of them. Let's drop in some brown there. Okay. This actually shouldn't take too much. Get back here. Wow, that is okay. Sure. The light is actually coming from our direction in this page. Or for this image, so we're gonna put some shadows back this way. Some tree texture. That's probably all that really needs to be done on this page. One of these days I will learn to not make my figures quite so dark, because now I'm kind of, not necessarily struggling, but it's not the easiest thing right now trying to add in the shadows where they should be. And that's just because they're not really going to show up, because the images are so dark. The figures are dark. So we'll just have to live with it. Alright. Got our little guy down there again, our little elemental. excited to add my white onto this. I'm excited to play with the white gouache, actually. Is really what it is. I'm going to see exactly what it can do. If it doesn't do what I need it to do, I always have acrylic paint. But I should be fine. Because I need it to go on kind of thin anyway. There's a bit of a glaze. And not necessarily as a paste. So now we want to just kind of touch up in here. Shadows under the eaves of everything. Oh, that looks real good. Okay. Getting there, getting there, getting there. Like an accentuation? Yeah. Like, it doesn't need to be so overpowering. It just needs to have its presence and to remind us of what's actually happening in the scene and, like, basically give us an eye of the season, but also set off from the blue in just the right way to remind us it's winter. It's basically just whitening the blue in the right amount that we can build a nice reflection off of. Oh god. It is awfully dark. There we go. Like that. Toned it down just a little bit. Can't get too much going on in here, but we can at least do that and that, that, there, and there. There we go. That looks good. So I think the next time I have figures in the snow wearing black, I'll probably just do a thin layer of black and then just focus on bluing it down for their shadows. Okay, there we go. Whew. And we're back to page 1. Go back here. We want more blue back there. You and you. You. Definitely you and you. Okay. Promise you, my drawings will be so much better once I learn what trees actually look like. So we're just gonna go with what I've got and say, meh, Fantasyland. Who knows what's going on with their biology? It's not bad. Not bad. Oh crap. That was bad. Okay. Here we go there. So they're kind of looking like ghosts, which is part of, you know, what they are, but it's, you know, pretty on brand for them, but they need shadows too. Let's get some of that going. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna stretch for a moment, and we're gonna come back and get this white on here. Give me a minute. Okay. Let's go and add our white. I could really screw this up. Pray that I don't. Keep it very simple. Just as a touch. I've already overdid it. That's really what should happen there. So this white is powerful. Okay. You want little touches like this. And we'll do a little bit here. The trees, and it can be pretty opaque for the trees. It's already, like, as it's drying, it's already thinning out a little bit, but it's still pretty much there. actually see it right, which I'm very happy about. Where are you? Okay. Okay. Hopefully that sustains. Actually, yeah, it kind of does. So when I go in to, you know, digitize everything and like clean up the art and the color, hopefully I'll be able to get more of that white to pop digitally, even if it's not doing it so much here. I'm fine with doing little scribbles like this. I actually get to know how to use this paint. I'll be in a really good spot. I am still learning this paint, because I don't use it really at all. Let's get on down here. Yeah, I think that's having the effect I want back here. because those are smaller targets back here, and not just white spots. So I'm trying to clean this up. You know what's missing? If I can. There we go. Let's get some stars in there. Why not? That over there. I know it's late, y'all, but I appreciate everyone hanging out with me. Glad y'all came through to keep me going. Happy that you came by, put your eyes on my art to see what I'm all about here. Add some stars. So pretty, thank you. I think the white actually is helping right now. Not in the way I expected it to, but you know what? It's getting the job done. I mean, it's actually doing better than what I thought it would do. Ready to have something placed on top of you? No, you are not. So we're going to move you over there. You are going to be down there since you guys have that going on. Okay. Need a little more white. Okay. Looks so good. This looks so good. That snow's just popping in the best way. I know, and I'm happy that it's actually coming together the way I wanted it to. So yes, that is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted to have happen here. Put you over there. trying a whole lot of stuff with this run of this series. And most of it's working out. Actually, a good chunk of it, almost all of it is working out, but... is thin enough to be the glaze that I need it to be for, you know, everything else in the scene. So like I can lay it down on some blue stuff and it won't totally obscure it unless I absolutely wanted to. But it will definitely make itself apparent. Just strokes like that. Let's go ahead and block in our torches too while we're here. Let's also get our little bushes in. As well as their fur, their liners for their coats. Needs to be doing something too. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. I like it. Next page. Oh, I forgot to draw his little shadow here. Let's draw some magic. It's so funny because originally when I decided I wanted this white in here, I'm like, oh, I want it to be kind of opaque. And now I get it opaque. I'm like, oh, that's too much. Okay. Where are... There you are. Just add in some little basic ornamental designs here. The very thin brush. Sorry you can't hear me. I'm trying to concentrate a little bit. back in with some blue back in those trees, but they're fine. Need more light in here. Reflection of snow, which we'll get in with some yellow as well, so it'll all stand out really nicely, I hope. It's getting late. I'm gonna actually pack it in pretty soon. But we're in a really good spot, which means it's just, something I can do tomorrow, I think. If I can get my act together and get on during the daylight hours, that is. These captions. Well, I mean, that actually wasn't so far off from what I actually said. So, you know. Alright, yeah, I think I will just go ahead and pack it in. It is now 10:30 at night. I actually got a really decent amount done. And still a decent amount left to go. Is really just adding in this white highlight on everything that is really going to help, obviously, the snow to stand out. But also it'll form a nice ground for my yellow torchlight and some fire to also be present. So, did you mention Walmart? That seemed, oh, you know what? Who knows what I've been talking about tonight? No, I did not mention Walmart. So thank you everyone who came by tonight. We got Saint Warhead with the cheer and Schlong with War, who followed. Shelby also with the bits. Thank you so much. Atlas Chug for the follow. Kent MC for the follow. Thank you everyone who came through tonight. You know what? This was a really, really good night. Despite how it started for me anyway. So thank you everyone for coming by. Hope to see you all again. We are going to go ahead and cruise on into bed. So thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of your nights. I am signing out. Night everybody.